Hello everyone. Just wanted to make a quick video of a real-time use case of an agent because I've seen too many gurus apparently just posting fancy looking workflows on Figma but never actually showing what their agent does or how it works. So I've got a perfect use case, fairly simple problem, but just to show how well these things work. So I've got an issue here on my blog site. I've been building out glossary terms and tutorials, but they've gotten mixed into the blog. Like these short ones are all glossary terms, and somehow they've gotten onto the blog homepage. So we'll go over to Claude. That's what I'm using with MCP. And typically what I do is I think it's somewhere in the Gatsby node, because it's something with how we filter we have features, guides, and the glossary, and somehow they got mixed in. So what I typically like to do is take the full file path, and then I use dictation just to tell or prompt Claude, and I say, so oops, just one sec. Please examine the following Gatsby node file. We have the issue where glossary terms and other pages are on the blog homepage. Can you spot the issue and suggest a fix? Let's just say the Gatsby node. And I will say, so I'm experimenting with a bunch, some internal code video ones and Puppeteer, but I'll say for 99% of tasks, Claude seems to be fine with just these two. These are also custom, but the terminal command and list repo locations. So the list repo locations is like a map. You can, yeah, it even says given a keyword, it returns the relevant repo path. And it's a very natural language way. I use something called the Levenstein distance, which suggests if you have a typo in the keyword or whatever, it suggests the nearest match. And actually it works really, really well. And also the issue terminal command, before anyone laughs at me, my computer's going to blow up, I check that it's a read-only command. So things like cat and whatever, grep, searching functions, things like that are allowed. Anything else is not. I'm not there yet. Maybe I'll have a mutation, a specific mutation MCP function soon. I don't know yet. But yeah, let's submit this and see how it does. And typically, or not typically, but always, once it recognizes it has to use a tool, it'll ask you. This is like the so-called human in the loop. Typically, it's not this slow, so I'm not sure what's happening, but yeah, okay. So first thing it does, it's just using cat, just looking at the contents of that file, and then it's going to go into the blog template itself. So this is the only thing I'm still struggling with a bit is how to help it find stuff faster. Typically, that's the longest thing, is it's just trying to find what it's looking for. So, well, it says he found the issue, but let's see what happens here. Okay, so it's found what it thinks is the solution. Okay, and it's catting out or putting out the whole file. So there's another technique I use a lot, because Claude really likes to write a lot, right? So the key change, it does say, but what often helps me is just saying can you show me a diff of the changes you made here? because then it's very clear. Sorry. Because then it's very clear, what the changes are. Okay, so he's adding content type and the filter in the blog page. Okay, so let's take that and blog. Okay, here, yeah. It's already, Copilot has different ideas. And they wanted to add the slug. Okay. Let's save that. Let's see if it works. Yep, cool. And that was it. So it successfully identified the error, suggested the fix, and we're good to go. These are only the blog entries now. So that was it. That's a example of a real-time agent in the works. This is definitely going to be one of my next courses, MCP and these functions and some techniques, because the stuff is it's like Wild West. You can't even do stuff like, if I want to change out different MCP tools, you have to do it manually. There's no even way to like activate and deactivate that, like basic, in my opinion, basic stuff that should be there. But yeah, discovering a lot of interesting things. Like for example, the official file explorer tool from Anthropic was way too slow. I don't know if I didn't configure it properly, or it was just throwing way too many files into context. I don't know. But I found like my little, this guy, the list repo locations, works really well as I said, the terminal command. But yeah, this stuff is crazy. I don't know. It's been working really well for me. I'm not really seeing many of the issues that most people complain about, but I've also been, it took a while to get here to kind of corral the machine into what you want it to do. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Take care. Much more to come. Cheers, everybody. Have a great day.